Hello, my name is Mariana and this is a reading for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, first of all, I've done your reading with my own deck, one that I made in 2018. It's a study tarot, so I've been using it personally and professionally, and it's been with me since then, guiding me. So the cards that I pulled today are from this deck. So first of all, before we get into the cards, I feel like I have to just talk a little bit about the process of shuffling your cards, because as soon as I just felt this nudge to pull cards for you, because it's been a few days that I haven't been that I have done a reading, and I just felt this nudge, like Sagittarius needs a message right now. And so when I just sat down to pull the cards and I, felt them, I just felt like this gentle touch, but just such a, like an artisan. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but like an artist tending to its art, if you know what I mean. And I had this feeling of slow and steady pace of building something, and it was beautiful because I was just shuffling so calmly and peacefully, and it felt like this process, this slow and mindful process of giving birth to something, and really hands-on it felt like. And it feels like something that you are growing a little piece, like each day, it feels like such a like a careful process, like a meticulous tending to something. And the first card that came through just confirmed that to me. So the first card that came was the Nine of Pentacles, and it feels to me that you're growing something with this slow and steady pace. But so when this card came along, I just felt this lonely process. I don't feel like other people know that you are so diligent and so the word that's coming through, it's like you have surrendered to this process. You have devoted yourself entirely to this process, that it may be really hands-on, like an artist, like you become your creation, you know what I mean? And so I feel like this has been like a long process that you have been devoted to alone, in your own room, in your own studio, in your own environment, sacred space, sacred environment, that you have been, it feels to me that you have, like, when you're doing this so carefully, like everything else just shuts off, like the world outside, it just fades away, right? And this is so beautiful because you're building something with such care, with such attention and such dedication. It's so beautiful, so potent. But the other card that came rushing in, actually right after this Nine of Pentacles, was the Nine of Swords. And before you get creeped out about this card, no, it's not about, yes, it may trigger some anxiety from the traditional meaning of this card, but I feel more like the way that these two came together, this one took its time, and then this one was just straight away, like jumping out of the deck when I was shuffling. So it feels to me that something in your process that it took a long time to get to this place suddenly shifts. It's like a flip that is turned, because these pentacles, these 9 pentacles, they were turning really fast into these 9 swords. And so I was just seeing how it's like a flip, you know, the flip of a coin or a switch. It's just like that, very fast moving. And it feels like here you could be on your own, but as soon as this shifts really fast, it feels like you have company. It feels like you are surrounded, because I just felt like this was like, so the word that I got from this, not the word, the phrase, was all systems go, right? So it felt like here, it was like, you were waiting for the lights to turn green, right? And so you can show your art, your work to the world, but with no rush, really patiently waiting for the perfect moment. But here it is, the moment, it's now. And it feels like bigger than your own decision. I don't feel like it's your call. I feel like it's like a higher call that is just giving you this all systems go. It's now or never, you know. But I feel like you are being accompanied by, if not other people, other energies that are just rushing in and making you go really fast. Because after the Nine of Swords came the Seven of Swords. And so that's why I'm saying how you may be feeling, what's the word in English for this? I don't know if it's the same in Portuguese, but maybe it sounds like that. Claustrophobic? Maybe, I don't know. But I feel like here you're just caught by surprise, right? You're like receiving this announcement that you have to go, you have to show what you've accomplished so far, but soon enough you're feeling not trapped but surrounded by other energies that you don't know who they are, right? And they could be actual people who are suddenly like all eyes on you, right? And you're in the center of their attention, and they're just wanting you to just explain what you did and your process and what your work is or whatever it is. But it feels like unwanted attention really fast, something that you didn't call. I feel like that's why you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, because I feel like here you were so dedicated, so focused, so one with your creation that that's the beauty in it. That was the beauty in it, right? The process of seeing your creation come to life. So your interaction was purely with your creation, and suddenly when it flips, and it may give you a little bit of a headache or like anxiety, right? Because suddenly there is a lot of other people that you don't know who they are, you don't know why they're looking at you, they're wanting to know you, right? They want to look at your art, they're just surrounding you, right? And so the next card that came out was the Five of Cups, and straight away I was just questioning this, because I don't read cards traditionally, right? I read them intuitively, and this one was a bit mysterious, because it felt like the way that I saw this was like if I were in your place, asking yourself, can I trust these people? So the word that came with this card was mistrust. In a first moment, you know, in this perhaps you're in this new environment where there's a lot of new people surrounding you, looking at you, and wanting to know you, wanting to get to know you, and you're not exactly sure if you can trust them or not, because it feels like here you're a bit defensive, you're a bit like you're keeping your distance, right? You're not, I don't feel like you are jumping ahead, like head on. It's what I mean. I feel like you're being cautious, because I feel like here you have learned with this slow and steady pace to be patient, to take your time, to allow things to grow naturally. And so when you're faced with this fast pace, you know, all of these new people surrounding you and wanting, you know, this quick interactions, and it seems to me really superficial connections, you're just keeping your distance, right? You're doing your portion of analytical read of the situation, of this new environment, of these new people. And so I was just wondering, can you trust them? Or are you going to feel this anxiety and this mistrust forever, right? And so the funniest thing happened, and I was just amazed by it, actually, because so the first card that came out after this Five of Cups, right, was the Moon, and then the Sun, and then the Ace of Wands. Let's begin with the Moon, because this card, when I was shuffling and taking my time, as maybe you are with your own process, when this card finally came along, this card was at the bottom, the Moon. And I was just, the image that came to me was like somebody working late at night, but just enjoying that so much that, you know, the work itself is so fascinating and pleasurable and just joyful, full of life, that there is no sense of time, right? So when you're just devoted to something, you just move throughout your day and you just lose sense of time. So that's what I was getting here when this card came with this one at the bottom. But then when I intentionally asked if you could trust these people, or would it be like this sense of mistrust forever, and then the Moon came out, I was just thinking, okay, so the thing that is coming right now is that maybe you wish you could go back to your sacred space, right? And just take refuge in the night. It's what I'm hearing right now. So take refuge in the night, where it's calm and silent and peaceful, and there is no rush, there is no sense of disturbing voices, you know, it's just calm. But also, because I asked about who these people are, I feel like it's good for you to keep your distance, at least in the beginning, because you don't know exactly who are you dealing with, right? Because they carry a little bit of mystery, they carry a little bit, maybe they have secrets that you're not aware of. So it's good for you to take your time, as you have learned, you know, to take your time with your own process of creation, of work, you know, with your dedication to a project or whatever it is. I feel like this Moon is teaching you to retreat back to that process, to that quiet and slow, steady place of creation, that you're whole with your own self, with your own being, because that's when you'll know. That's the place that will give you the silence for you to hear the voice of your intuition, instead of hearing so many voices, right, and not knowing if you can trust them or not. I feel like it's really good for you to retreat to this sacred place and just work at late at night. And then I just remembered, because I'm recording this a few days from the full moon, which is actually the second full moon in Aquarius, and that's quite rare. So it is a really significant moment in time, astrologically and, you know, energetically. It's the blue moon. So it feels like there is something that is coming with this full moon that is going to give you some light, right? Because as soon as this one came along, and then these two came together right afterwards, and they jumped actually, I just had a sense that with this full moon in Aquarius, something is coming to light, but it's not, it's in your consciousness. It's not, it's your voice, it's the voice of your intuition that it's going to speak to you through some sort of inspiration, a divine inspiration with this Ace of Wands. I feel like you're going to feel the need or the pull to do something, to act upon something, to, it's like this spark of divine inspiration, really, when these two, the moon and the sun, align, right, in opposite signs, which is a full moon, right? So yeah, the moon will be in Aquarius and the sun in the last degree of Leo, so, which is actually a fire sign, and Wands represents fire, right? So I feel like you're going to I feel like you're gonna know, right? So it's good in a sense that you keep the distance for a while, just because you're analyzing something. And when you retreat back to this sacred place that you know, where you're working alone but happy and filled with your own being, right? Integrated with your own higher self. I feel like, and maybe it won't take long, right? Because we're just a few days away from this full moon. Something is coming to light, and I feel like that's just this spark, this maybe a new idea, maybe a new inspiration, maybe this realization of who are these people, the true nature, their true interest in you, right? So I'm actually curious to see what is this divine inspiration, this spark that is going to come with the alignment of these two star beings, with these two luminaries, right? Yeah, I'm really curious, because I'm not getting exactly what it is. I feel like you have to slow and steady, just wait for the perfect moment for them to align, to receive this inspiration. So let's see if the extended reading has something about this, right? So I'm gonna pull a few more cards, and also as a final guidance, I'm going to pull from the astrological runes that I did a while ago too. So if you want to follow me there and see what the cards have to say about this, I'll be happy to see you there. Okay, take care, bye.